Educated fools from uneducated schools now. They keep changing up the rules like ignorance is cool, y'all. When people say that about the notion of religion,
right,
which is a different discussion, we may have this in the future, actually coming soon, y'all. No, so it's not, some people, yes, or some groups might have used this idea, this ideology, yes, to bring about division, chaos, so that they can exert more authority and control. But initially, like I said, and also even when you say stuff like a human, this is a human invention. Well, right, we are humans, right? Every invention, most of inventions, right? The way our world is constructed. Now notice what I'm saying, our world. What world? The world of humans, right? Is by humans, for humans, right? So these ideas, race, religion, this is all things that we've constructed. Now, like I said, the issue is not necessarily, sometimes it's not, well, the fact that we construct, it's what are we constructing?
Right.
And for what purpose, right? In a sense, I sense that's part of what your question is, right? So my answer to that would be that initially, it wasn't to divide people just to divide people, because let us be, notice, realistic, right? Like notice when I say initially, when we started this discussion, right? I said that, well, race is not an objectifiable thing in nature, right? The concept, the word itself doesn't really represent something true. However, differences do exist, right? Like you, well, people can't see you, you are of fairer or lighter complexion than I am.
Right.
So we're different in that sense, right? I am shorter than you are, right? That's a difference. So these are, actually, this is real difference. Now, here's the thing, right? When you say, well, was this something that was invented to divide people, right? No, people, we already are divided in the sense of the way you're using this, in the sense that you're using the word division. I feel like there's a moral, connotation to it. And me, I'm trying to go beyond that for now, okay? Before we talk about morality, let's identify the thing first. And then we can start talking about whether it's right or wrong, right? So initially, I'm proposing to you, right? That, well, the idea of black and white, right? Initially, at least, right? It's not to divide people, it's to classify, to categorize what? People because of their differences, right? And group, right? Because people, that's what we are, as part of what we are as humans, right?
Yeah.
We group because of this social, okay, nature of ours, right? By social means that we like to get in groups, right? And there are different reasons, okay, or different interests, if you want to say, that might draw one or another to a group, right? So let's bring this. Like I said, this it's always because the reason I sometimes talk so much, right? Because those questions that we're asking, right? They're not simple questions, and often this is what we've been doing. We oversimplify, okay, these things, and dismiss them, right? And then this is why we make error. So I want to go a little bit more in depth, even though, like I said, we don't really have a lot of time, right? Because I wanted to make this succinct. So let us continue. So I'm proposing to you initially, right? The idea wasn't just, let's divide people like this conspiracy, right? No, that's not it. It's just differences do exist, right? So short people, tall people, like I said, light-skinned people, darker-skinned people, people with green eyes, people with blue eyes, right? And not only that, like, I might be someone who's quiet, for example, and introverted. Therefore, I might not want to hang around people who are loud and extroverted. For example, I'm just giving, if anything, I'm actually the opposite, right? I'm loud and, and lively, right? But I'm just trying to show you that because of these things, okay, these real characteristics, okay, that we notice in humanity and I was gonna say in society. I'll even propose that this is pre-society even, right? Those differences exist in nature. So when humans, okay, for whatever reason decided to form societies, okay, part of how they decided, and I think it's even more than a decision because of these obvious, like I said, right, different characteristics. When you decide to have society, you're gonna group, and to group you have to categorize, right? So at one point you might have this group here. I'm just, again, this is not real history. I'm just giving an example by way of analogy to answer the question. Okay, so say, okay, here's a better analogy, right? So in different, hoods, right, in North America, and like I said, now it's all the Americas, and it's even global, right? So the notion of gangs, right, is kind of the same thing, right? Why do you have, for example, this is a bigger question, but I'm just using it by way of analogy, and I'm trying to propose to you the same intuition, the same instinct, okay, that drives this grouping, okay, of people from a certain neighborhood, right, to form what is termed and classified gangs, right? It's the same instinct, okay, that developed the notion of race.